A very good morning to my dear students of class 8, and I am happy to welcome you all once again for today's botany class. What are we going to learn today? Today's topic is asexual reproduction in other organisms. What is the topic for today? Asexual reproduction in other organisms. What does this mean? Other organisms. It is not going to be either in plant category or it is not going to be either in animal category. We have studied about asexual reproduction in plants already, right? By natural methods and by artificial methods, all we have studied. In other organisms, which means in yeast and other such organisms, how they reproduce, we will learn in this class. Okay. So let's get started. Asexual reproduction in other organisms which does not come under plants are of three types. They are called as budding, binary fission and multiple fission. So what are the three types of asexual reproduction in other organisms? Budding, binary fission and multiple fission. So about these three methods of reproduction we are going to learn in detail in this class. The steps in these type of reproduction and also where all you can find these type of organisms we will learn in this class. Particularly you will know what this other organism mean. Okay. So let's start with the process of budding. See, this process is called as budding, and for budding there are two examples given in your textbook in which all organisms budding is present. For that, two examples are given in your textbook. The first example is called as hydra. Have you heard this word hydra? Yes or no? So this hydra is this one. This structure is called hydra. What is it? Where can you have you seen hydra? You might not have seen because it is a aquatic plant. What is aquatic? Aquatic means, what is aquarium? Have you heard aquarium? Where you have a collection of fishes all, it is called as aquarium. So aqua itself refers to Aquafina, one brand of bottled water you have, no? So aqua means water. So those organisms which can live in water, they are called as aquatic organisms. Okay, so this hydra is also an aquatic organism and it comes under a group called as Coelenterata. It is not Coelenterata, you have to pronounce it as Coelenterata. So hydra is an aquatic organism and it belongs to a kingdom or group called as Coelenterata. Okay, what is the speciality? How does it reproduce? This organism, see, this is a category of other organism because though it appears, see, if you see it, the branches all, no, you think that it appears like a plant, or else if you can imagine like a tentacle of the fish, you think that it may be an animal, but this doesn't come under the group either plants or animals. That's why it's under a category called as other organism. So this starts reproducing first by the formation of bulb. What is this bulb? You have bulb at home, right? So how is the structure of the bulb at your home? Just a big swollen structure, no? Even when you have studied about reproduction in onions all, it comes under the category called as bulb because it is a swollen structure. Similarly, in hydra also you have a bulb like structure. Can you see a big ball like structure, a swollen structure? This is called the bulb. So first, when the hydra begins to reproduce, the first structure formed is called the bulb. So after some days, what happens? The bulb becomes a branch like structure, and this branch, a bulb with a branch, is called as bud. What is the name? A bulb with a branch is called as bud. Can you see a small protruding structure, a bulb with some branches? This is called the bud of the hydra. Then again after some days, the bud begins to become bigger and bigger in size, but still it will be attached to the parent plant. The initial plant what you had, no, that is called the parent plant, and this is called the bud. Once the bud is fully matured, okay, once the bud is fully matured, when it gets all the properties of the parent plant, after that what will happen? It will be detached from the parent plant. What is detached? Detached means separation. It will move separately, and when it falls on the ground, it will have the ability to germinate into a new plant. It will grow into a individual plant, and this is called the bud. Okay, so when this will happen? When this will happen? Why suddenly such structures are formed in a parent plant? At some times of this plant called as hydra, at certain times, okay, it is not sure which time, at certain times in their life, they begin to, which one? The parent plants begin to develop or divide repeatedly. At some part of the parent plant starts dividing repeatedly. The cells undergoes division repeatedly. Suppose in this place the division is happening. What happens? So that place alone will be swollen. It will pop out like this, because what is inside? This place has extra number of cells, because the parent plant has undergone repeated cell division at one particular place. So this is the reason why you get a bulb in that place. After bulb formation, as I told you already, also the other parts of the structures which the parent plants have also starts developing, and then it will become a individual hydra plant. Okay, so the reason for bud formation or individual plant formation is, at certain times of the year, the hydra plant, which is a parent, will start undergoing repeated cell division, and that is the reason for the initial bulb formation. So what have we seen? We have started about budding. The first example given is hydra. What is hydra? Hydra is an aquatic plant, and it belongs to the group called as Coelenterata. At certain times of the years, when some parent plant undergoes repeated cell division at some part of the plant, that place alone will be swollen in structure or bigger in size. Later it will develop branches. When a swollen structure with branch develops, it is called as bud, and this bud will grow bigger and bigger, and at one point of the time when it is fully mature, it will fall to the soil and grow into a, and then what will happen? This will become a parent plant. So this is the way how hydra reproduces. The next example given in your textbook for the process of budding is yeast. Have you seen yeast? At your home, your mom will be having either for baking cakes or even an appam, or some mothers add yeast. No. So for cooking, they add yeast, but how do they reproduce? What is yeast first? Is it a bacteria? If it is bacteria, you cannot see through your eye, right? But it is quite bigger in size. So what is that actually? Is it bacteria or fungi or virus? What is that? It is a fungi. Okay. So the second example is, it is not example 1, it is example 2, which is yeast. Okay, so it is a unicellular fungi. You have studied about fungi, right? So fungi are of two types called as unicellular and multicellular. What is unicellular? Uni means one. The whole organism is made up of only one cell. Our body is made up of many cells, no? But this yeast is only made up of one cell. See, this is a single cell. This is the yeast cell. It is the whole body itself is only one cell. I told you fungi may be unicellular or multicellular, right? So if it is unicellular, it is called as yeast, and if it is multicellular, it is called as mold. Okay, so bread mold, all have you seen? The spongy like structure in decayed bread is called bread mold. You have studied, no, in the previous portion of this lesson you have studied about bread mold. That is a multicellular fungi. See, if a structure is made up of many cells, you can see with your eyes, but this one you cannot see with your eye. Of course, you can see when many yeast together. You may question me, when my mom bakes the bread, I can see the yeast. You tell that I can't see. You can see when it is so much in number, when it is all clumped together, you see as a little ball. Okay, but when you dissolve in water and take one drop of water and place under the microscope, and if you see, maybe after the lockdown it's all over, when you come to school, we can go to a lab and we can view this. Okay, so when you see under a microscope, you can see such a structure. The big ball, what you see is many thousands of yeast together only, what you see with your eyes. Okay, so it is made up of single cell and you cannot see a single cell actually. So it is a unicellular fungi, and this fungi, what it does for multiplication, when it starts its multiplication or reproduction, the first step is the nucleus is equally distributed. See, a small bud starts forming, and the first step is the nucleus. Where is the nucleus here? This red color big circle is the nucleus of the parent cell, and this nucleus is divided equally. How much nucleus is present in the parent cell? The same amount, the same quantity of nucleus is distributed into the bud also. Okay, then at some stage the bud is separated from the parent. See, it is separated from the parent after it gets its nucleus and sufficient amount of cytoplasm. After it gets individual properties, when it can withstand by itself, it will detach from the parents. In the previous example in Hydra we have seen, similarly this will also detach from the parent. It will grow separately and it has the ability to be independent. What is independent? Dependent means depending on something. Independent means you don't depend on something else. So the bud now is independent because it does not depend on its parents. And one more special property is the young ones, what we call this as the parent cell, and this we call it as daughter cell, right? Even the case of budding in Hydra also we call it as daughter cell. So this daughter cell and this parent cell will be like Xerox copies. Identically it will be the same, it will look the same. The daughter cell and the parent cell will appear the same, or they are called as identical copies. Can you understand? So this is about the second example for budding. What have we studied? The second example for budding is yeast. What is yeast? It is a unicellular fungi. So during the process of asexual reproduction in yeast, the yeast first distributes the nucleus equally to the newly formed bud, and then the bud also gets the cytoplasm and other contents from the parent cell, and once the bud can survive by itself, it will get detached from the parent and it will have the identical appearance similar to its parent. So this is all about the process called as budding. Next we learn about the process called as binary fission. What is bi? Bi means two. What is bi? Bi means two. Fission means splitting. In physics all you must have studied, no? I think you must have studied. Fission means one split into many. Fusion means many fuse to form one. So fission is one. Nuclear fission all you must have studied, I think. So fission means if one thing is split into many things, you call it as fission, and fusion means if many things are all joined together, then you call it as fusion. Okay, here binary fission, which means something is going to be split into two, because the title is binary, right? Fission means splitting. Something is going to be split into two. What is going to be split into two? Amoeba is going to be split into two. The organism which can multiply asexually by this type of reproduction called as binary fission is amoeba. Okay, so this amoeba under favorable conditions, what is this favorable condition and unfavorable condition, what is favoring them, which means if the amoeba has proper amount of food to eat, if it has proper water requirement, and if the temperature surrounding the amoeba is favorable for its survival or growth. Under favorable conditions only, this type of reproduction called as binary fission is happening in amoeba. If the conditions are not favorable, amoeba will not undergo this process of reproduction called as binary fission. It is going to undergo some other type of reproduction that I will explain you in the next slide. So what did I tell you? Binary fission is common in amoeba. When it is common, whenever there is favorable condition for the amoeba, that is suitable condition for the amoeba, it will undergo this process of binary fission. So here what happens? So can you see a cell wall and cell membrane? What is cell wall? The outermost thick layer is called the cell wall and the inner one is called the cell membrane. So the outermost wall is called the cell wall. What is it called? Cell wall. Can you see two layers here? One outermost layer and one inner layer, right? So the outermost is called the cell wall and the inner layer is called the cell membrane. What is it called? Cell membrane. So you have two layers called as cell wall and cell membrane in a cell, okay, in a cell of amoeba. This is the structure. During favorable conditions, what this amoeba does is, the nucleus of the amoeba starts dividing into two. The nuclear material of the amoeba splits into two or divides into two. See, can you see one nuclei here? One nucleus is here and here you have two nuclei, singular is nucleus and plural is nuclei, okay. So what did I tell you? Under favorable conditions, when the amoeba wants to multiply or reproduce, they first split their nuclear material into two equal halves. So equal halves you will have, okay. So after this nuclear material splitting is over, then what it does is, it will divide the cytoplasm into two equal halves, just like the nuclear material it has divided, no? Similarly, the cytoplasmic material also it will divide into two equal halves. See here what is the cytoplasm here? Can you see that yellow color region or orange color? I don't know how it appears to you. This yellow or orange color shaded region is the cytoplasm. So this is the cytoplasm. Okay, so this cytoplasmic material is once again divided into two. So now you have two equal nuclei, two equal cytoplasmic contents, right? After this what happens? A wall is developed. See, some wall is developed which will split both the cells into two, and this wall is called as cross wall. What is it called? It is called as cross wall. So what is all happening? First nuclear material is split into two, cytoplasmic material is then split into two equal halves. After that a cross wall is formed between the two split material. So now what happens? Two cells are formed. Initially there was only one cell. Now see, at this stage it is split into two, and these two cells are called as daughter cells. What do you call them? The two cells are called as daughter cells and this is the parent cell. Okay, so this is the process of binary fission in amoeba. What have we studied? Binary fission is common in amoeba. When it is common only during favorable conditions. So in favorable conditions, when amoeba wants to reproduce asexually, it first splits its nuclear material into two and then it splits its cytoplasmic material into two equal or identical parts, and after that a cross wall is formed between the two split material which will lead into two daughter cells. So this is about binary fission in amoeba. So we have studied about budding and also we have completed binary fission in amoeba. So there is a third method called as multiple fission, right? So about multiple fission we are yet to learn. What is multiple fission? I told you already, fission means splitting. What is fission? Fission means splitting. Binary fission means, I told you, splitting into two, right? Then what is multiple fission? Multiple fission means splitting into many. Multiple means many, right? So fission is again splitting. So in this case, one cell is going to be split into n number of cells. N means multiple number of cells is going to be formed out of this type of asexual reproduction. Where it happens? It happens in again amoeba. Example is amoeba. You might be confused now. I told you amoeba undergoes asexual reproduction by binary fission, no? Then how multiple fission is in amoeba? When it will opt for binary fission? When it will opt for multiple fission? I told you only during favorable conditions binary fission will happen in amoeba. But during unfavorable conditions, what does this mean? What is unfavorable? Opposite to favorable, which means suppose if the temperature around is not favoring bacteria for its life or for its multiplication, or suppose if amoeba doesn't have food to eat, or else food may be available, water restriction will be there, there will be no water availability for amoeba. In these cases all, this condition or the situation is unfavorable for the amoeba, no? At this stage, what the amoeba does is, it undergoes multiple fission during unfavorable conditions. So what happens actually? The first step what amoeba does is, this is amoeba, right? You might have studied in the structure of amoeba in your class 7. That amoeba is irregular in shape. It doesn't have it is not circular or spherical or rectangular in shape, right? It is irregular in shape. Why the structure is irregular? Why amoeba is irregular? Because of a structure called as pseudopodia. Where is the pseudopodia? Can you see this projected structure? This is called the pseudopodia. What is pseudopodia? Pseudo means false and podia means feet, no? So this is the false feet for the amoeba, which helps them to walk or for locomotion. Pseudopodia is used. So now I told you the condition is somehow unfavorable for for amoeba. So during this condition, what happens? The first step what amoeba does it pulls its pseudopodia inwards. It pulls the pseudopodia. So when it pulls this extended structure, it becomes like a round ball. Can you see? There is no more pseudopodia, but it becomes like a round structure. This is the amoeba. Then what is this structure? I'll use some other color. Can you see one more structure here? This structure is called the cyst. What is it called? It is called as cyst. C-Y-S-T. This cyst is a hard covering. It is a hard protective covering to the amoeba, which is only during unfavorable conditions. In normal conditions, amoeba will just have pseudopodia, cyst is absent. Only during unfavorable conditions, to protect itself from outer dangers, it develops this cyst-like structure. Okay, so now this amoeba lacks pseudopodia as well as it has a cyst, and what it does is, it divides multiple number of times, n number of times. It will divide repeatedly and produce many nuclei. Can you see these black dots? These are all nuclei produced by bacteria due to multiplication or cell division n number of times. You have countless number of nuclei now. So after some days, what happens is, each nuclei will have the ability to develop into one amoeba. So if there is one nuclei, it will become into one amoeba. So how many nuclei it has developed, that many number of amoeba you will get. So after the conditions become favorable, whenever there is water availability or temperature is favorable for amoeba growth, this cyst will burst. Cyst is the outer covering, I told you, no? It will just burst and all the amoeba will come out, and each amoeba which is out now has the ability to develop into a new individual. So every amoeba is independent now from its parent. So this is the multiplication of amoeba by multiple fission. When this happens? Only during unfavorable conditions. So now we have learnt about all the three types of asexual reproduction in the other organisms, right? So that is all for today's class, and your homework part is you have to read page number 36 to 38 where you have this topic called asexual reproduction in other organisms. So until I meet you in your next class, you all take care and bye bye.